Hello, Internet! Shouth is here, and it's time for another episode of Arena Time here on ShoutStone. We are following Trump as he makes his run through the arena. We're up to game number 5 in this series, currently up 3-1. So without any further ado, let's get to the action right now. It is Jaina versus Thrall. Trump playing the part of Jaina, the Mage, and Pwnstars playing the part of Thrall, the Shaman. Don't forget that you can follow Trump on Twitch. You can watch him stream pretty frequently at twitch.tv/TrumpSC. Also find him on Twitter and YouTube at the very same username as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen. So make sure you're doing that. Alright, so things starting off early. A little bit of Worgen play. Worgen Infiltrator coming out, followed by a Mana Addict. So Trump getting things started off pretty nicely here in the early going stages. Usually this is a fairly quiet time. The Direwolf Alpha coming out for his opponent. But he's going to use that Mana Addict to claim it and ping it away and continue to deal some damage on the Shaman player. So, well, as it stands right now, taking a look at the available cards, still a little early, so we're just kind of waiting to establish things. Fairy Dragon coming out. He's probably going to trade that Worgen for it. Indeed he does. And lets the damage continue. So already 5 points down. It's still very early, though, so that's not nearly enough to really change much. You know, honestly, when you're within the first 10 hit points, it doesn't really affect your strategy too much or the approach you're going to take to the game. Because, to be really perfectly honest, all you're really doing is just kind of playing it out, and you still can use your health as a resource because you still have so much left. You know, 30 hit points is a lot. And between all your minions and everything like that, you really don't need to feel too pressured just because you're starting to take damage early. A lot of newer players, you know, they, especially if they don't have any TCG experience, tend to feel that way. Like they feel, oh my god, I'm starting to take damage, I better start playing defensively or protect myself. And they start to take fewer risks that can really pay off in the long run. But you know, newer players, or I shouldn't say newer players, but more experienced players, definitely see those. You know, they start to make those more adventurous type plays despite damage. So, in any event, Senjin Shieldmaster is out. That Mana Addict getting buffed up a couple times, enough to get killed by the to kill off that Senjin Shieldmaster, I should say, the Mana Addict. And now, our Shaman player is at a bit of a... it's starting to get to a point where you need to revise how you want to play. A little bit. He's down to the 19 hit point area. He just played that Spellbreaker to shut down the Violet Teacher, so it's no longer going to be spawning minions. But right now, I mean, it's still anybody's game. Let's be perfectly honest. It's still anybody's game. He could sacrifice those 2 1/1 minions if he really wanted to take out that Spellbreaker, but that's a little overkill. I mean, he's got a good solid minion advantage right now, and you certainly don't want to mess with that. He does have a few other options. He's going to play that Senjin Shieldmaster, I think. He's considering it carefully, and he will drop that into play. So Senjin Shieldmaster comes into play. He's going to ping that Spellbreaker, and yeah, no, he will use those Violet Students to deal the damage and inflict another 3 points of damage on the Shaman player. So Trump looking really good at this point, in a very strong position as we reach the mid game. Feral Spirit coming out. That's going to pop a couple 2/3 minions with Taunt and a Scarlet Crusader. So nice response as we approach the 7 mana turn. It's going to play that Stampeding Kodo, which will claim 1 of those minions. And I think the field is going to be cleared once again. Indeed it is. So field is cleared once again from his opponent. Both Feral Spirits and that Scarlet minion are gone. Trump now still with his Violet Teacher in place. Sinjin Shieldmaster, now a Stampeding Kodo. Time to get a little bit more defensive, and well, actually, you kind of got to play a little bit in between. You know, the goal obviously right now is you got to start getting rid of those minions on the other side of the table, but you can't seem, you know, our Shaman opponent can't really seem to keep anything out on the field long enough to inflict the kind of damage that you need to inflict. And there's apparently not a lot of spell options either in his hand or in the deck that can really counter what's on the other side of the table. So he's got to get some stuff out there. He's going to play Forked Lightning. Hopefully that's going to do some damage where he needs it. Well, it does hit the doesn't hit the minion that I think he wanted it to hit. But he does manage to get things down a little bit weaker. It's the injured Blade Master. Could be taken out by that Violet Teacher who has served her purpose. She is silenced, so there's no more benefit to that. But it is still a good 3 damage minion, which means a lot of pressure that can be placed on the opponent. Looks like he's going to polymorph it instead. Play that Arcane Golem. And he is just going to get his opponent on the clock. I think this may be game right here. I don't think our Shaman player is going to have enough to end this. Basically, every minion on the other side of that table has to die. But, yeah. Actually, well, not only that, but he also has to get something with Taunt out there to prevent that Argent Commander from inflicting damage, so that's one. He's going to pop another totem. And I think this is GG right here. Yep. Well, that was easy. GG. Trump wins. Moving on in convincing fashion. So that game was in Trump's capable hands the entire time. Whether it was just due to luck of the draw or just a player who was not quite as skilled, can't say. But I can say that Trump definitely owned that game from top to bottom. And won it very convincingly, as you saw. So there you have it. That's going to do it for this episode of ShoutStone. We'll be back Wednesday with another episode, and of course on Friday with the next episode of Arena Time. Don't forget to find me on Facebook and on Twitter, links in the description. Also, check out these videos here for links to our tournament, which of course we are still accepting signups for. Don't forget to check out that video so you know all the rules of the tournament and before you sign up. And also, check out the latest episode of Games in 60 Seconds, where I cover Nidhogg, the awesome little strategy type, well, not really strategy, but fighting, fencing, sword fighting game. It's great fun. Just watch that video and then buy that game. But anyway, that's going to do it, folks. I will see you all next time.